That's who it is.
It's always funny because when I was in high school, when someone said I like to read more, I was just like, so like signs and shit. So you're like outside, like, stop, go,
Yield.
I'm like, so you just read anything?
McDonald's.
Prince, Babolat.
Big lots.
Yeah, big.
Big lots. It has an exclamation point.
What's up, Pandeez?
Welcome to another episode of the Pandesoul podcast.
Where we explore the flavors of being Filipino and American.
We're your hosts. I'm the Dremagix.
I'm the Fictitious Professor.
And I'm EJ and we hope you're hungry.
Because there's plenty to go around. What's up, Pandeez? Welcome back to the Pandesoul podcast, the funniest podcast on the internet. This is your host. I'm the Dremagix.
I'm Fictitious Professor.
And I'm EJ Villiamin.
And before we get into the episode, please go on all the social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and click all the buttons and type in all the boxes. Unless they're bad comments, then go to hell.
Don't press send. Just get it out. I know how you feel.
Oh, like the letter where you write it and you don't send it? It's like that common trope in like white sitcoms where they like accidentally send it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
Speaking of sitcoms, today's episode is on escapism. I think we as a culture, I don't know if it's specifically Filipino, but I know
It's just modern culture in general, I feel like.
Right, you delve into escapism, right? Where it's, by definition, escapism is the tendency to seek distraction and relief from unpleasant realities. So, like, binge watching and, like, all that shit, right? So you don't think it's, like, culturally a thing? It's just everyone is an escapist.
Yeah, it's not just like with Filipinos and FilAms. I've seen it in just everyone.
Recently.
All kind of cultures, yeah.
How about you?
That's good, and it like keeps us all common, like in a common ground. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't think it is just Phil.
Do you think even before, too? Like, before the internet era, where it was, like, kind of just TV and movies and shit?
Yeah,
It's kind of everyone's
yeah, not even just that, but it's like, I feel like it's a fine line between sort of engaging within a culture, like, for example, like Disney, for example, where there's, folks who go to Disneyland annual passes all the time, and like the Disney adults, and their entire life revolves around being at Disneyland, where it's like, doing their day job, and then right after going straight to Disneyland, buying all the merch, et cetera, and it's like, everyone can have their own appreciation of whatever, but I feel like if it's to avoid bigger responsibilities or things, that's when it starts to become a problem.
When we talk about macro numbers, though, there is that statistic, right, where like the biggest amount of viewership and engagement on certain websites are from the Philippines, right? Like Pornhub, the biggest kind of one of the guys in the back was pumping his fist. Okay, Rafael Estrada.
Dang. Full name.
Yeah, he's like half the views.
Dang.
No,
got VPN from Manila.
Share.
Dang.
Let's bring their numbers up.
It's
like a
valuable person network.
Yeah.
it's a way to get your location to another, so you can be in the Philippines or in Europe.
Yeah.
That's how they cheat
Like
at
network
Pokemon
privacy.
Go.
Yeah. Which they tried to stop.
It's not gonna stop.
It's fine.
If you're work for a VPN, sponsor us, and we'll shout you out.
Yeah. Very
Hey,
Filipino network.
Teach me how to cheat at Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
So that statistic where I think it was 2018, 2019?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But like the Philippines was the number one most viewed country on Pornhub.
Yeah.
Right? And I know a lot of YouTubers, and we've talked about it on past episodes, where YouTubers, Filipino and non-Filipino YouTubers cater to the Filipino audience, which is like Pinoy baiting, right? And that's like a legit strategy, even amongst the beauty pageant scene,
Right.
And it's different. There's like a balance between like representation and Pinoy baiting, right?
Yeah.
Because like, we're just gonna throw a Filipino, like a brown person in the show,
Yeah.
it might be a representation play, or it might be like a, like a
Political play.
like a for profits play, right? Like, oh, Filipinos are going to watch this because we made this superhero Filipino.
Bam.
Right? And we're going to get, first of all, we're going to get money,
Right.
right? And then we're going to get media attention. So, like, we're going to get a lot of noise because we made this move
Yeah.
instead of this move.
Right.
So, having known this, do you think culturally we still are, like, hella into escapism? Or is it just everyone still, you think?
I think everyone's still. It's just like, and obviously that statistic, that's like a specific type of escapism for various reasons.
No, I mean, like, not just the porno.
No. That's like a point where it's like,
That's what I'm focusing on.
sports can also be a form of escapism, where it's like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just gonna follow my team.
Oh, word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even like
Like a LARPing?
any kind of fandom can be a form of escapism. Or like, video games or
Yeah.
any kind of community is a form of escapism.
Do you think it's like something because like I don't know they feel still unseen that they want to try to consume as much stuff so that they could see that they're seen?
Yeah, I mean humans just want to be included within like social circles.
Yeah.
That's where like BTS Army is just being part of a group of individuals who are all fans of the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Huh.
Yes, and I guess it's yes, but I think because reading the definition, I specifically remember to avoid unpleasant circumstances. Right. So, I guess there is a version of that here where we're like, I don't want to do work. I'm gonna play another episode of anime or fucking like, another level of video games. Well, I think that definition, then it's in the Philippines. It's not because it's not to avoid an unpleasant thing. I mean, because also unpleasant is what's the word? Subjective.
Oh yeah.
What's the word? Street up where they walk. Right, because there's like countries that don't know they're poor, like they live in poverty, but they don't know they're because
Dude,
poverty is like comparative.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy you mentioned that. I watched this video about these people who from America, like Christians who would go on missions trips, and they would go to Central America and like help out the poor folks, but the people in like the poor areas, I think it was like somewhere in Central America or whatever. But like the people in Central America didn't know that they were poor, and then when these white folks came and like were helping them, then they realized like, oh, I'm actually really poor. So then when the missionaries left, the locals had a bunch of like depression symptoms because they had all this anxiety about like not being rich or like being labeled as poor.
That's pretty interesting.
So it kind of like was more detrimental to the locals than like it. Like
That's
these
wild.
missionaries did more harm than good.
Yeah. Sounds like a ignorance is bliss
Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn,
that's like
crazy.
That's
and
fucking
like,
wild,
That's
yeah.
like also been labeled as escapism, where it's like Americans who go on mission trip to third world countries basically as like an ego boost. It's like, oh, I'm helping out these poor people. It's like it's a white savior complex.
It's
for
a
sure.
it's a very expensive version of virtue signaling.
Yo, yeah,
Dang.
which is super problematic.
What is that?
Yeah.
For those of people that don't know.
Virtue
What
signaling.
Virtue signaling is,
It's like showing others that you have a certain level of virtue, or like,
Oh, okay.
like, oh, look at me. I
Hey, watch this.
It's
I'm
like
doing
when
something.
TikTokers film themselves giving money to homeless people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Didn't know there was a couple words for that, but that's
Right.
cool. Oh, that's not cool. But it's cool that I know now.
Yeah, that there's a word.
We learned something.
Because ignorance is bliss, but
Right.
that time it wasn't.
Yeah.
Ignorance.
Oh man.
Ignorance Jones.
Yeah.
Tell me why didn't call.
It's not.
Damn.
Not even close, but
No? Okay, fine. Is there a what's your poison? What's your poison of
Escapism?
Escapism.
pick one.
Pornhub.
My output of like escapism lately has just been getting like, exercising more and running and stuff. So I've been just kind of researching more like health stuff, more like exercise, like running more, just to kind of feel something, feel like the runner's high, dude. Yeah,
Damn.
Getting
That's
real deep.
wild. Okay, go ahead.
Dude,
But
I
after
felt-
the run, I'm like I feel better. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
That extra dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
that was
that's
nice.
like the remedy.
Like it
right?
sucks the whole time running, and then when I'm done, I'm like, oh, okay.
Is
Life-
that what the
life isn't
runner's
so
high
bad.
is?
Bro, it's a
Basically.
really good feeling. I had it this past weekend like 5 times.
Yeah. That's your back.
That's why my back
You're
sucks
paying
right
for
now.
it?
Yeah.
What's your version of escapism? Your poison of choice.
It's kind of interesting, yeah, because like to escape something that is unpleasant, like a chore or whatever,
Yeah.
what I do is I read more. I wasn't really much of a reader, but I read a chapter. I just read the comments of who's in this video. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what I read.
That's a full chapter.
So you're
Yeah.
you're not reading for very
Yeah,
long.
it's like, oh, no, that's who it is.
It's always funny because when I was in high school, when someone said I like to read more, I was just like, so like signs and shit. So you're like outside, like, stop, go.
Yield.
I'm like, so you just read anything more?
McDonald's.
Prince, Babolat.
Big lots.
Yeah, big.
Big lots. It has an exclamation
Oh, yeah.
point.
Is there a Filipino word? What is there a word in Tagalog? Biglat?
Yeah, that's like, cool. Something happened. Big lot. No, that's big lot. What?
Bigla.
Big lot. Yeah, no T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bigla.
Yeah.
You get jump scared?
Wow. Heart. You're gonna.
What's your
Oh,
heart
you're
rate?
gonna get gout.
It's good. It's good.
It's good. It's good. You're good.
Yeah, I think. Yo, it's really fucked up. My form of escapism is working.
That's true. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Just lean more into the work.
It's wild. Yeah. Like I know, especially like fucking after a breakup or something. I'm like, all right, let's write like 3 magic shows
Yo, yeah.
and put it on. You know.
So you've been
And-
single lately, huh?
Yeah, because I haven't done any shows.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I could like name the show
Yeah.
and name the girl that it's like
About.
used to escape the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, this is like fuck. She
That's
had dry
cool.
hands. No, she was great. But I would use that,
Yeah.
or to get out of. Dude, it's weird because like I was really booking a lot more gigs for Magic when I was about to graduate college.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I didn't want to do schoolwork, I would be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I have gigs. So I think that's what set me up down
Interesting.
that
Yeah.
kind of a relationship between shit I have to do but don't really want to,
Right.
and
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
right? Like the work that I like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So it's kind of that.
That's kind of cool how like our escapism is something that's productive yet it isn't at the same time.
I mean, there's
you-
work.
like it's-
I have
it's
dad ones
running.
also.
Like it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
It goes
It
towards
goes-
like productivity,
Yeah.
but there is like a point where it's like diminishing returns, where it's neglecting other things that are
I'm
important.
spending
Exactly.
too much time on this shit.
Exact. Oh yeah. I guess if we would rank.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
for mine, it's like an extreme would be I stop doing music stuff.
Yeah.
You know, for you, it's like you stop social interacting like with friends.
No, that's happened for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Where like I've had to check myself. I'm like, yo, let me start doing these things more, because it'll help this
right.
thing that I
Yeah.
love doing.
Right. And it's also like, I don't know if this is a positive or a negative, but it's like, you know, when you write a show, you write your friends into the show. So then it's another excuse to hang
I'm running
with
out of
your
friends. I'm running out of friends.
Yeah.
No, it's very fight fire with fire type
Right.
thing. It's like, I need to promote better or like expand my network, so I got to go to these events. But also that means being more social and like getting out of the fucking house,
Right.
Rather than like just working in front of a mirror and just like working on tricks or like writing or doing content stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like for a minute, I think there was a minute like yesterday where I'm like, yo, I'm working too much on like content shit. I need to like read a magic book or like
Yeah.
Oh,
go
yeah.
for a walk. And so I did that. But like being not really old enough, but experienced enough to be like, yo, this is bad.
Yeah.
Even though I'm on a roll, like this is fucking bad.
Yeah.
So, and just having the maturity to be like, if I forget this idea, I'm good enough at creating that I'll think of something else or the same thing or better.
Right.
Right. So it's having to be okay with letting go of some shit.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
self-awareness, dude.
I mean, I'm trying. I mean, like, there's other shit that's like problematic, but it's,
Yeah.
we're trying to figure it out.
It's interesting with that too, because like, my improv comedy teacher, she was talking about when she started improv, she was doing improv like every single day of the week.
Yeah.
And then she realized after a while that her improv comedy was suffering because all her experience was improv comedy. So she was like, "Oh, I need to take a step back, live some life."
Yeah.
And then
For sure.
then her improv improved because
She added an E.
yeah, because like you're living life again, doing non-improv stuff,
Yeah.
having things to like observe and comment on.
Yeah.
So I resonated with that. With if I lean too far into music, then I'm like, oh, I'm
For
out of
sure.
touch with reality.
Yeah, and everything starts to act the same.
Right.
Right? That's like some magic groups, especially in LA, I try and stay away from because I don't want to be part of the mold
Right.
that makes up that place. That all the people fucking act the same, or I mean, jokes are funny because they're timeless, but
Right.
you tend to do the same act, the same tricks with the same patter, right? Like on a recent trip to the Far East, I met an old
yeah.
man, and I'm like, that's not me, dude. So I realized earlier that I need to stay away from this kind of thing, even though it is magic and it's the field that I'm in love with.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so live my version of it. And then now I can tell my story.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang. So when you worked in front of the mirror, like,
It sounds like you're going to set up something dirty, dude. Go.
Just wait.
I was just gonna ask,
Okay, go.
like, yeah, because you said how you like had to look in the mirror and like work in the mirror. Like, did you ever work from 6 to midnight?
There it is. There it is.
One more time for the people in the back. Go ahead.
You cut me off.
Because the setup, and I'm like, oh.
I can't. Nope. No more. That's it.
No,
My
I've
luck,
never
kid.
worked from 6 to midnight.
Damn, for real though.
6 to 11. Curbs to the left.
58 seconds. Never finishes.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Oh, that's good.
What about the more common forms of escapism? Like binge watching shit? Do you binge watch shit?
Dude, going on AIM, talking to people on AIM.
Dang.
Bring
Amigo?
Omegle. Yo, are there people our age on that shit?
Yo, dude,
It doesn't
Omegle's
seem like-
fun.
I mean, the people
Who are
who
you talking?
the people who are our age on that shit are on that are problematic.
No, they're not. No, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not a problem.
I'm not a problematic.
Hi.
I'm a problem Manuel.
No, it's fun.
Are you on Omegle though?
No, just sometimes. Like sometimes, like if we're hanging out, drinking, she's like, "Oh, let's put on Omegle and see what happens." It's like chat roulette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a way to restrict age on that?
No, that's sexism. I mean, ageism.
So like you can just talk to like 16-year-old people?
You could also just skip them.
I know, but like they come up.
Yeah, skip. But you're not talking. You're talking for friends. You're not talking as like, "Ooh, I'm gonna be dirty." Some people are like
shit.
that, and there is a version of it that's for that.
Okay.
But like sometimes it's just
Your
like,
hair fake?
no, it's real.
Good boy.
It's supposed to pull it.
You were pulling it already.
Yeah.
That's why. That's interesting. So how many times do you have to skip before you get into an
Actual
appropriate
Actual conversation.
an appropriate counterpart?
So wait, but then why is the counterpart? Why is it inappropriate if you're just casually talking to like random people who could or could not be of age? It's not like you're always
What
talking
age?
about. Huh? I usually skip them anyways, but I'm just curious. Like, why is it bad?
If you're the parent of a 15-year-old, would you want them talking to a 35-year-old?
no, which is why I
That is
skip.
why. Right. That's why it's problematic, though.
Okay,
Yeah, you have
Gets?
I'm glad we
Yeah.
said this out loud. We figured this all out together as a team.
because you have like a moral compass.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, but some people don't. Or there's it's kind of oblong,
Yeah. It's
powered by Magellan.
Right.
Yeah. So how many times do you have to skip before you get into
probably like
a-
one or two.
Really?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like,
I mean, sometimes you talk to people and then like sometimes they'll skip you because they see you're like, oh fuck.
who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Dang. So clearly, I've never been on Omegle.
Right. Same.
It's funny.
Yeah, you don't
sometimes.
have to. I mean, convince us for real. It's
Oh.
just like, oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Good for you.
So you don't want to go on tonight?
Not with you.
If they see 3 people, it's less.
C3PO.
Okay, you're right. Maybe it's just the Gen Z
I think it depends on the angle of the camera.
Where it's placed.
That's true. The webcam is okay.
Why are you touching your groin right now?
I'm looking at my
Your
Hands up,
webcam?
hands
yeah, my webcam.
Hands up.
Huh?
Very good.
Hooray.
Hooray.
Hey, babe.
Interesting.
Hands out.
Hands out.
But
That's cool.
yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, that would be a good escapism for this like modern time, I guess.
Dude, fucking TikTok.
Yeah. That's
Oh
true.
shoot.
That's
yeah.
like major.
Dude, the like doom scrolling on TikTok and Instagram feel different.
That's true,
what I'm talking
actually. Yeah.
Like on TikTok, you scroll for like I feel like I scroll for longer,
Yeah.
Way longer, bro.
and then on Instagram after a while I'm like, okay, I'm good. Even though I'll come back like a couple minutes later.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's a point where I feel like eh. But then on TikTok I'm like,
Well, here's the thing. On,
if that makes any sense.
on Instagram, I only do stories. I only watch stories. Like, I don't really scroll anymore. But when I do stories, it always gets to that one person, which is my benchmark. So I'm like, oh, it's this person? I got to turn this off.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to see nothing about, like... No, I don't want to have to make you edit more shit. Anyway, yeah, so on Instagram, I'll get to a certain... I mean, there's others like that. I'll be like, yo, it's time to go to bed, right?
Right.
Or like, time to get off. And then I'll post stuff for pandesoul.
Yeah.
And then I hit those stories, and it's the same fucking story. And I get to the same person. I'm like, no.
Dude.
And I'll doom scroll on TikTok. But I think the longest I've scrolled on TikTok one time was like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, where's my day at?
Dang.
You know? So
Do you ever like
can't
do
do that
that
anymore.
like when you're talking with your parents and you just want to like escapism, like actually fully in a conversation and just like they're saying things that are just so like that you want to
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, not just my parents, though. I'll say things that...
I want to do that in real life. Just be like, all right, I want to get out of the
Peace.
conversation.
Yeah, sorry.
I'll be back in 2 minutes. After
Oh,
I
same
see
story.
this-
Dude, like, there's some folks that I interact with somewhat regularly, and they're just like awkward conversationalists.
Yeah.
And then there are times where I'm like, that's the only person I can talk to in the social setting. And it's like I want to stop talking to them, but if I stop talking to them, I'm just gonna go somewhere else and either not talk to anybody or be on my phone, and I feel like bad a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I guess I gotta find a different way out.
I need to make new friends at this spot.
Yeah. I kind of gamify it though to see how awkward I can make it, or if I can out awkward them.
Okay, that's
Them
pretty
feel-
fun.
That's fun.
That's pretty good. Yeah. I would.
They're like, I was eating at this place. What'd you get? Like, ask them dumb
Yeah.
ask questions.
Oh yeah, I eat too. I like food.
All right, let's let you role play. Let's go. Okay.
I'll just be watching.
Okay. Ready? Who? You're first or me?
Who's you? First? You're first.
I've been first
Oh,
before.
You're starting already.
All right. Yo, so yesterday there was this girl, right?
What? There's girls everywhere.
I'm gonna go somewhere else. Like already, I'm like, I'm done.
Where are you going?
I'm done.
There's nobody
Wow,
else
that was
to talk to.
I'm done. Huh?
There's nobody else to talk to. There's nobody over there.
Let me check my email real quick.
Hey, wait,
Let me check my email, dog.
Your email will be there in a couple minutes.
I hate this already. I can't do it.
Dig.
Bring, bring.
It's crazy because I'll meet. I'm gonna fucking put myself out already. I meet people at like events, and they'll like, oh, come up to us and stuff, and be like, hey, everyone, let's exchange Instagrams. And they'll be like, what's yours? I'm like, oh, Dremagix. Is it that one? Cool. And everyone's like, they'd be like, self promoting in like a real life setting.
Yeah.
Oh, add me on this, and I'm the only one that doesn't take out my phone. I'm like, no,
I'm good. No, thank you.
no. Like, why? I don't know you like that. But everyone's like, oh, we'll follow each other, and I'm just the only one like,
Yeah.
and I'm like very shameless about it.
Yeah, it's funny. I have a buddy that does something similar. Where if somebody asks him to do something, like, "Hey, can you help move this chair?" He's like, "No, thank you."
That's awesome.
We had our old coworker. He was like really fancy dude. He's like a gay dude, but he was like very like delicate.
Fancy.
Yeah, fancy.
Fancy.
And there's no shit. But like he said, the funniest because we were playing a card game.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, Kevin, it's your turn to shuffle. He goes, I don't do sports.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Shout out to Kevin Ramirez.
Hey.
Love you.
He doesn't do sports.
Doesn't do sports. I think it's that time. It's Palaman time. What are we going to put in the sandwich? What are we going to put on the playlist?
Oh man. Yeah, I didn't think we were gonna do this every single episode.
Yeah, every episode we
do
got
this every other week.
or like a FilAm. Let's do the music.
Music.
Let's keep adding to the playlist.
Blue Jeans by Apple Hiking Society.
Nice. All right. So, if you didn't know what we're talking about, we have a pandesoul infinite playlist. We're just going to keep it going every episode. We're going to add 3 tracks to the
Playlist each week.
playlist. FilAm artist or OPM. What do you got?
Oh, there's this Filipino. He's kind of like a jazz arranger, composer named Ryan Kayabyab. He has a cool version. What?
Nice.
He has a cool version of, I think it's Pandangao sa Ilaw.
Oh, shit.
It's all like jazzed out.
A jazz pandango sa ilaw?
It's like a jazz ensemble type thing.
Dope. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Easy Mill, Panalo.
Nice.
Like it's been an anthem for the past like year and a half.
Right.
It's
We're
wild.
gonna throw it on the playlist.
Yeah, it's wild.
Turn up. And then, dude, you get so hyped. Anyway, that's it for us till next week. Please go on all the social media. Yep, that's what that beeping means. That it's time for us to end the episode.
Time to land this plane.
Time to land the plane.
Eagle 1, this is Eagle 2.
Thank you.
Eagle
for
3, I'm
following
still here.
Philippine Airlines. Please don't sue us. Sponsor us. But until then, go on all the social media. Watch this episode again and watch past episodes.
Watch it with your friends.
Yeah, on YouTube,
Watch it with your family.
on Spotify,
Do an escapism and watch it 3 times.
on Apple Podcasts, even the Reels, on Instagram,
Watch it with your eyes closed.
on YouTube Shorts. We need one more.
YouTube long pants.
And watch it on
Caprice.
Capri Sun.
Capri Moons. And also watch it on TikTok. Yo, thank you for joining us here on Pandesoul Podcast. Join us next week as we do more dumb shit. We've been your hosts. I'm the Dremagix.
I'm Fictitious Professor.
And I'm EJ Villaman.
And as always,
Don't forget your button.
peace.
O sige na, Pandeez. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Pandesoul Podcast.
And check out previous episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, check out all our social media. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at Pandesoul Podcast.
Thanks for laughing and hope to see you in the next episode because there's enough Pandesal to go around.
And don't forget your baon!